How's it going, you guys? I know the hype's died down a little bit on the shoe, but I have added on a lot of miles and I'm ready to finally review the Nike Epic React. So let's start with the upper. The Flyknit upper is very comfortable and sock-like. It's almost unnoticeable as it disappears on the foot. The knitted upper has decent size cutouts that let my foot breathe, and I never noticed them getting overly toasty. While the lockdown on the Epic Reacts are an improvement over the Lunar Epics, I still couldn't get a very secure lockdown on my foot and occasionally found it sliding off the side as I rounded corners. I also wish that the heel counter was a little more secure. This is a very minor complaint, but I noticed that if my socks were lower cut, there was some annoying rubbing on my ankle bone and Achilles, though with the majority of my socks I had no problem. Now let's move on to the thing I really was excited about these shoes, the new React Midsole. The React Midsole is legit. I found the ride to be a great mixture of bounciness and softness, but also having a good amount of firmness to it. It's kind of hard to explain, but I prefer it to Boost as I find it to be more consistent and stable. And it's also a huge improvement over Lunar Lawn in both ride and durability. I was kind of surprised by the shoe. The cushion seemed a bit softer at slower speed, but when I picked up the pace it seems to firm up a bit, which I really appreciated on some longer fartleks I did. With that thick midsole, it was also a nice shoe for long runs, especially with how light it is, though if the upper was more structured, that'd make it even better. There's a hard piece of plastic under the heel that helps prevent bottoming out, which I really appreciated. But other than that, this shoe is pretty unstructured and I wouldn't recommend it if you're an overpronator. The React midsole I'm a huge fan of. I love that bounce and cushion to it. But let's move on to the little bit of outsole there is. You can see it's definitely not as pretty as when I got it out of the box. Nike has a small patch of crystal rubber under the forefoot and the heel of the shoe. While it's not a lot, I actually found these patches to be very durable. The exposed React did get torn up, but I felt like it didn't affect the durability of the actual midsole too much. The shoe is great for the road and the treadmill, but I wouldn't recommend it for anything else. I went on some light trails and was sliding around and had very little grip. So look for a pair of dedicated trail shoes if you're planning on running a lot of trails. Nike debuted its React midsole technology in a shoe that I think did a good job of combining a comfortable upper with an energetic and versatile midsole. The cushion and bounce were definitely noticeable and are a huge upgrade over Lunar Lawn. I was skeptical at first that this was more an everyday lifestyle shoe than an actual running shoe, but it turns out this is actually a legit running shoe, though it just may not be for everybody. I'm also excited about the newly released Odyssey React, as it addresses many of the issues I had with this shoe and comes at a lower price point. Subscribe so you don't miss my video talking about the Odyssey React and the Epic Reacts, and as always, keep on running.